Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PS Vita review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Surge Deluxe, which if you've never played it before, it's a puzzle game. It's a remake, well not a remake, it's like a HD version of a PlayStation mobile game that people weren't too keen on at the time. I mean, there's a lot of people who said it was good, but there was a lot of people who said it had problems. So when they came to this version, they've messed around with it a bit, and it's now brilliant is probably the way to put it, because it's went from being a mediocre game to being a brilliant puzzler. You've got two modes of play, which I'll start with puzzle mode, which people are finding a bit disappointing because there's only 15 puzzles in it, and it's a bit of a shame. And basically you've got a target time and a target score to beat the level, and you've just got to work out the best way to do it, and once you do that, then it basically takes you on to the next one, and then you keep doing it until you beat them all. And I'm showing you the best way to beat this level here because it's only 1 of 15, and it tells you actually how to beat the level. Obviously I haven't done the best time or anything. I think the best time in the world is something like 4 seconds, but it's just one of those. That was just to basically show you what the puzzle mode is. The player mode is just, it's like random levels over and over again, and you never get the same lineup of blocks twice, and it's just a perfect puzzler for that reason, that it's something that you can, every time you can put it on, you can find another reason to play it type thing. Musically and graphically it is absolutely stunning, and that does help it, but there's a few basic rules that you've got to know. As you might have already noticed, you control it by using the touchscreen and by drawing lines to connect blocks, and you can only connect the blocks if they've got an exposed edge, and if you hit another colour or you hit something accidentally, then the line stops and you've got to start again. So if you've spent ages setting up a pattern, like a diagram of blocks, to try and get a really high score, and then you mess up, that's it, you've messed up. At the bottom of the screen you've got a timer, and the timer is quite important because the only way to fill it up again is to get a match 3. So you can get as many match 2s as you want, but you're not going to get any more time. So when in that situation I was there, where I only had 2 of every colour, then I was a little bit screwed because I couldn't get any more time, so I just had to speed up and do it. There's then also, as you might have noticed, these beams of light shooting across. They're basically the vents, because at the side of each one you've got a pressure gauge, and that pressure is slowly building, and when it fills, boom, you know, game over. So you've got to relieve the pressure by opening the vents. The more vents you open, the more pressure relieves, and the faster it does it. And it's just one of those things that to get to the vents you've got to delete blocks. And you have to have both sides open. So for example here I've only got one side of that green one open, so I can't open it. But I do have both sides of that blue one, so I've been able to use it. And it's just, again, it's a game of time, essentially. You've got to do everything as fast as you can, whilst getting as bigger combos as you can. There's bonus blocks like the ×3s there, where they're any colour, and you can link them to anything in order to get a bigger bonus. And it's just insane how fun and addictive it is, and part of that is because the controls are incredibly fluid and it just works perfectly all the time. I've never heard anyone yet complain about glitches, because there aren't any. Probably the only glitch will be if your fingers are too big, and that's something which obviously you can't help. It's not the game's fault if your fingers are too big. I mean, I've got big fingers or anything, and if I got desperate I'd try and use my little finger, but it does recommend your index, and I personally think that is the best finger to use. It's the most comfortable over long periods of time. There's no way to use analogues or D-pads or buttons or anything. As you can see there, I'm pushing anything. There's thankfully no rear touchpad, which would just be horrendous on a game like this. It really would. And there's nothing else really that I can actually say about the game. I've kind of covered it all. It's just one of those puzzlers like Tetris, where it's simple and it's addictive, and if you like it, you're going to play the hell out of it. If you don't, then it's a bit of a shame, but for what is essentially something like a £4 punt, then it's something that I definitely think is well worth looking into if you like puzzle games usually, because I'd like to think you'll find some fun with this and enjoy it. And that's pretty much all I can say about the game. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.